Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is literally my first makeup video back in so long. I've already done my brows. I used these two gems. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. Mine's in the shade dark brown, but I do use a very light hand with it. And then this, oh my god, this is literally like €2. The Makeup Gallery Slay the Brow Clear Brow Gel. This stuff is fab. So I have a few new products that I want to use. Obviously we have to prime. This isn't exactly a primer, but I am going to use it as a primer. This is the Kiko Smart Urban Shield Cream. It's basically just a moisturizer and it has SPF in it. It's very thick. I haven't used it. I actually got it a while ago. I think I'm after putting on way too much. It smells unreal. And I'm literally just going to use my hands to rub that in, just to make sure my skin is nice and moisturized. We have a few little friends, but bar that, we're not too bad. I don't know if I want to start with eyes or base. I think we're just gonna do base. Do you know that? We're using this today. This is the Fenty Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint. I've been so excited to try this. I have seen this everywhere, and then when I seen it in TK Maxx, I was like, obviously I'm buying it. Mine is in the shade 9. There wasn't a great selection, honestly, of shades. Sorry, I'm just looking for my foundation brush. I cannot see her. There wasn't a great selection of shades, so I'm hoping that this is going to be okay. I'm literally just going to pop a little bit of it on the back of my hand. Okay, we're not going to start with too much. I'm going to take my brush and pop it. I actually think this might be a good colour for my tan. I'm just using a Revlon 009 brush to buff it into my skin. Okay, I'm definitely going to need a little bit more. So that is that skin tint all blended in. It is actually really nice, but you probably can't even see it on the camera, but in person it is probably a shade too dark. I thought it was going to be way too light. I got the shade 9. I probably could have gone with the shade maybe 8 or even 7. 7 probably would have been perfect. Staying on the whole Fenty trend, I do have two new concealers. One of them is the Fenty Pro Filter. Mine is in the shade 310. Now the only thing about this is I don't think it's going to be an under the eye concealer. It's not that bright, but actually with this skin tint we might be okay. She's still a little bit dark. We're gonna pop her. Oh, my phone is ringing. 1 second. As I was saying, this is definitely not going to be an under the eye concealer, but I have just popped it in a few places just to give me a little extra bit of coverage. I'm going to pop some here and here. First impressions, it feels really creamy, and the packaging, love. I know it's so simple and plain, but I absolutely love that. I'm literally just going to take the same brush and start bouncing my brush back and forward just to get maximum coverage. Okay, yeah, first impressions, I really like that concealer. I have a friend here on my chin and he is very red and sore, and now he's literally just the same shade as the rest of my face. It has such a nice finish to it. The other concealer I actually had here, which I got new as well in TK Maxx, is the Becca Brightening Light Shifter Concealer. Mine's in the shade 4, but again, I actually did test it, don't worry, it was clean when I bought it. I do actually think this might be a bit dark for under my eyes as well. I'll pop a little bit and see. Yeah, see, that is actually pretty much the very same shade, I don't know if you can see it there, as the skin tint. So again, that would be a perfect concealer for basically just adding extra coverage. I didn't have any concealers for adding extra coverage. All my concealers were like 3 to 4 shades lighter than my actual skin tone, hence why I picked up these two in a darker shade. For under my eyes, I'm going to use my trusted e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer. Mine's in the shade Light Peach, and I'm literally just going to dot a little bit because I don't want it too bright, because I feel like, you know, been there, done that, and sometimes I was looking back on pictures and, you know, sometimes when it's too bright it's not cute. So literally just the tiniest bit, and if I need to I can actually deepen it up with that Becca concealer, considering that's such a perfect shade match. Literally under my eye, or under my chin, I'm going to take my brush. My forehead, I'm going to take my brush. On my nose as well, I'm just going to pat my brush. And then under my eyes, I like to do a bit of a different technique. I like to take one of these concealer, like I use this, it's like a fluffy blending brush, and then a flat top concealer brush. And basically what I do, take the flat top brush, get as close to your eye as you basically want your concealer, and just little very very small tapping motions, and basically do this until you have the concealer everywhere you want. And like say for instance now I just want the concealer, the brightness to stay right here, then I take my fluffy brush, and now this does take a little few minutes extra than just going in with a big brush and swiping away. Take your little brush and just very gently pat out any of the harsh lines. Now, and see all this corner, I obviously need to finish this bit, but see how that's still so bright but yet it's blended. And then what I'll do is go with my foundation brush and very very gently just go over the very edge, and that is how to keep the brightness under your eyes. It took me years to actually even realize what I was doing wrong, and I used to always be so like raging when I seen all these girls with like unreal under eyes, like really really bright under eyes. I always like to do a little line here as well, and then I'll blend it out with this brush so obviously it's not as harsh. And I could never understand, I always thought I was so bad at makeup because I couldn't get this like really bright under eye, and you know, like my makeup always looked like kind of bad because I never had enough coverage under my eye. It took me years to even like learn to do that. And again, now that concealer is actually quite bright for the foundation I have on, so I'm literally just going to take a few dots of this just like that, and with this brush just kind of blend them on up just so it's not like extremely bright. I still like a bright under eye, but I feel like in the past I kind of overdid it. And then again, taking my brush and just patting over that just to make sure we are very very blended. Now, and that is how I achieve my very bright under eye. Literally, I know I have concealer here, but look at the difference. No, unreal. Okay, so under my eyes is finished. We are now going to basically start with the rest of our cream products. Cream bronzer, I am taking the Miss Charlotte Tilbury contour stick. Mine's in fair to medium, and I'm literally just going to put a few dots. We don't want too much. I want to keep this very kind of simple makeup. And again, taking the same brush. This actually should be the one brush makeup challenge. I literally, when I find a brush, I just, you know, when I find a brush that works, I literally just use that brush. I know I need to get loads more of these brushes. It's the Revlon R09 brush. It's absolutely fab. Okay, so now all that cream contour is blended in. I'm going to pop some of this Mitchell blush in Sweet Cheeks just at the very high points of my cheeks. I'm literally not going to put too much because I always put too much and I always end up so pink, which I love, but I know sometimes it is a bit much. I'm literally going to put a little tiny bit on my nose and some up above my eyebrow. I did that one time and it looked really nice, so we're going to pray to God it works again. I'm going to take a really dense brush for this and just pat it back and forth again wherever I am wanting that blush to sit. I swear to God, these blushes are unreal. I need to get more. I have two of them. I have like Mango Daiquiri and then this Sweet Cheeks one. They are unreal, and I see he's came out with like loads more, so I definitely need to get my hands on a few of them. Okay, so my blush is all blended in now. We're going to start basically layering back up all of our powder products. Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, absolutely unreal. I don't think I could name a better setting powder. I know she's pricey, but she's worth it. and I'm taking the Rebel Luna or 10 brush, which is just kind of a tapered powder brush, and I'm just going to start packing that in to anywhere that I want to set, which is basically my whole face. I'm quite an oily, sweaty gal, so I need to set everywhere. Face is set. Now I'm going to start obviously putting on my bronzer, my blush and highlight. This bronzer, oh my god, it's so cheap and it's so fab. It's the Essence Sun Club matte bronzing powder. Unreal. Mine is in the shade 02 Sunny. So cheap, so nice, unreal, love it. I actually do like to take a bit of a more kind of controlled brush. This is a MAC 116, and I like to focus it in certain places instead of actually just getting one big massive brush and dusting it onto my face. I used to do that and I'd always wonder, like, why don't I have like any dimension, why doesn't it look like I have cheekbones, all that stuff. And that's why, because my bronzer was just going everywhere, so it just looked muddy instead of actually giving me any sort of definition at all. And another tip, when you are setting your face, I take my brush with my powder on it and I just pop it under here, and obviously then I dust it away, and I feel like that helps as well sculpt out your face too. Okay, so we are quite blushy already, so I don't want to add too much blush, but I do want to keep with that pinky, like bluey pinky tone. So I'm taking this Pennies / Primark blush in the shade In the Pink, which it's literally a luminous pink. And again, I'm going to take that brush that I used for my cream contour or my cream blush, and I'm literally going to barely press it into the pan and tap it off loads. And it's basically, and this is basically just to set that cream blush. And now obviously we still have highlighter to put on, but before I put my highlighter on, I always like to just spritz my face with whatever setting powder I'm using. Usually I use my MAC Fix Plus, but I'm actually kind of running low on that, so I'm gonna use my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray and just basically drench my face. Yeah, you literally should be dripping at this point. And just take a palette or something, or a fan preferably if you have one, and just dry it into your skin. If you don't use setting spray, it makes such a big difference. Like, look at how my skin has just, I know it's still drying, but turned to skin and not a face with just loads of makeup on it. You know, it really does melt in everything. I used to not use primer, I used to not use blush, and I used to not use setting spray, and I'd say if I got stranded on a desert island and you told me I only had 3 things to bring, those would be the 3 things I would bring. Highlighter, I'm using my all-time fave. It is the Iconic Bronze Champagne Supernova highlighter. It is well and truly loved. How I haven't hit pan on this yet, I don't know. There just must be loads of product. I'm taking a fan brush and I'm literally just going to hit the highest points of my face. So just right on my cheekbone, like so. Obviously on the other side, basically anywhere that it shines when I have this setting spray on, wherever it shines the most. So just the tip of my nose there is shining, my forehead, and another little bit there. I only like to put like a small bit on my forehead, and then a little bit on my cupid's bow, not too much. And that is highlighter done. That is pretty much my base makeup done. When I'm finishing my eyes, I will give another spritz of the setting spray, but for now we are going to start on eyes. I'm going to use this palette today. I've never used it and I've had it for a while. It's the P. Louise The Love Affair palette. It's very cute, but I'm just going to probably use these 3 shades here. We're doing something very, very simple today. Nothing too extravagant. I'm going to go back in with the Rebel Luna or 08 brush and basically just pat out any creases that I have in my eyes. When I was doing my eyebrows before I started the video, I basically primed my eyelids, so we're literally just going to pat that out and make sure there's absolutely no creases. We're going to go in with a big fluffy brush. This is the Rebel Luna Oro 6 brush, and we are going to go in with the shade Liar Liar, which is this warm brown here, and we're literally just going to take the tiniest bit. There is a lot of kickback in the pan. That doesn't bother me, but some people it does bother, and I'm literally just going to pop that in my whole crease. And I always like to bring the eyeshadow out a bit as well, like just direct it out. I feel like it gives your eye like a longer wing look. This is going to be such a simple eyeshadow look, so if you're here for like big extravagant eye looks, I'm so sorry, you're literally not going to get that today. Maybe another day, but not today. I used to always do big bold colourful looks, and I literally took them all down off my Instagram because I was like, that is actually not who I am anymore. And to soften up that shade, I'm gonna go in with the shade Just a Friend, which is this kind of light peachy shade. I'm kind of gonna put it all over my lid, but very kind of messily, if you get me. Rebel Luna Oro 20 brush I'm going in with, which is a fluffy brush, but it's a bit more of a controlled fluffy brush than the Oro 6, and literally just going to very messily blend that out on my lid. It's basically to give it like a no eyeshadow look, if you get me. It's basically like my eyelid colour but better. And then with no additional product, back in with the Oro 8 or Oro 6, and basically just gonna blend all that together. Very, very simple eye look. I'm actually gonna dip back into that Liar Liar shade, but really dust it off and just darken it up a little bit more. I think that is perfect for what I want. Now I'm literally going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow and the Inglaw Jawline, and I'm basically going to make a little brown eyeliner just to line my lash line. I literally have no false eyelashes on. I usually get eyelash extensions done, and I do not have any, which means I'm gonna have to put eyelashes on, which I'm so bad at. So I have to line my eyes, or they're just not going to look very good. And I'm actually going to do a little wing. Well, I'm going to attempt anyway. I know this is probably not the brush to be trying to do a wing with. It's very thick. Okay, so I just popped off and popped my eyelashes on, and I finished my lips. I actually just filmed a reel of my lip combo. I'm going to show you, but obviously if you want to see how I put it on or how I apply my lipstick and all, go check out my Instagram. It'll be down in the description. But I used the Peaches and Cream Punchline lip liner. This lip liner is absolutely unreal. So good. I definitely need to order loads more because literally look how small mine is. I used this lipstick. This is the Essence Hydra matte lipstick in the shade Peachy, and this is the colour of it. I know it's called Peachy, but it actually is kind of dark, but I don't know, I'm liking it. Usually I wouldn't like a lipstick this colour, but I do. And this gloss, I definitely need to order more of these because I'm afraid, because it's a collection as well, it might be discontinued. This is the Be Perfect Ellie Kelly She's Here gloss. This gloss is absolutely fab. It's such high shine. It's just so nice, and the colour of it, even when I've no makeup on, I use this lip gloss and it's absolutely unreal. Okay people, that is the end of my first makeup video back. I absolutely love this type of makeup. I'm definitely gone off that big heavy makeup look. I think this, like, very, you know, full coverage skin, easy eyes, big lashes and glossy lips is definitely the way to go. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.